Hello everyone. Today we will talk about Cisco 300.715 Secure ISE Exam Review. Let's begin. In 591 Lab, it is a top IT training and certification exam brand in many countries like China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. Our mission in 591 Lab is to provide our client with exponential exam preparation experience for many types of certification like Cisco, Huawei, Aruba, Juniper, Palo Alto, and Fortinet. Today, we'll talk about one of Cisco Security CCNB track exam. About our exam, it's for implementing and configuring Cisco Identity Service Engine. This exam testing your knowledge of Cisco Identify Service Engine, including some point and topic like architecture and deployment, policy enforcement, web authentication and the guest services like bring your own device and the guest wireless, also profiler and BYOD, it's bring your own device feature, also endpoint compliance, network access administration. So what is ISE? ISE is Identity Service Engine. It's an NAC solution, network access solution. ISE, it gives you control and policy enforcement. So what ISE can do? When any device connected to your network device or endpoint device, the ISE asking who connect to our environment. It's for authentication, what he can do. It's for authorization, how he will authenticate. It's asking about authentication protocol, wired or wireless or VPN. It also makes some health check in your endpoint and the network devices and scan it for threat and vulnerability. The ISE will provide your environment with many features like visibility in all your environment, network devices, endpoint like mobile, PC, laptop, and so on. Also for many network devices like wireless access point, switches, router, and will give you full control on all this device. Control like to enforce any policy, to allow access to some resources, and deny access on other resources. This control also will make you can isolate any device from your network if the device can't comply with your policy. Compliance, for example, for antivirus. If the device doesn't have any antivirus, it doesn't achieve your compliance in your network. So the ISE achieve compliance in your resources and your network. Let's begin in many question in ISE exam that will cover this topic and explain it with many diagrams. The first question here is asking about different attacks and radius. As we know, there is many type of protocol in ISE. The most common used protocol in authentication is a radius and attacks. So let's see our question. What is the difference between how the radius and the attacks handle encryption? Let's see the explanation of the question. The question asking if user trying to authenticate with a server, how if we use radius or attacks, how we will encrypt the traffic. For example, the user is logging with Cisco 1 user 1 and password Cisco 123. The router will send username and password to the server, ability server. And after that, the AAA server will log on OK. And the first option, if we are using radius, the radius is encrypting only the password. So if we have bcap file, the Cisco 123 here will be only encrypted. But on the other hand, the CACS encrypt all packet. All packet here is explanation by username and password. So let's see option and let's see answer. Option A, Radius encrypts the entire packet, where the CACS encrypt only the username and the password. Option B, Radius encrypt only username and password field, where the CACS encrypts the entire packet. Option C, Radius encrypt only password field, where the CACS encrypt entire packet. Option D, Radius encrypt the entire packet, where the CACS only encrypts the password field. Guess the answer. Answer is C. The difference between how Radius and the CACS handle encryption is that Radius encrypt only password, where the CACS encrypt entire packet, including username and password. So the correct answer is C. Let's go to next question. The next question here, a network engineer has recently configured remote branch router to authenticate from centralized Cisco ISE server, and this server is locating behind corporate firewall that using the CACS protocol. After making this configuration change, the engineer tried to open SSH session between router and the ISE from this router to this ISE. When the user tried to verify connection, the user write his username and password on this router. It should be a cross between this firewall to ISE, but his failed. So the engineer made some troubleshooting, like open logs on this firewall. He found protocols like SNMP traffic between router and ISE. It was SMB and syslog, but he didn't find any TCACS traffic on this firewall. That's mean there is no TCACS traffic from this router to ISE. However, he initiated SSH session. So, what is misconfiguration code? Let's explain our topology. We have router on this branch connected to this firewall over WAN, and we have ISE also that connected here. The ISE is working as AAA server. When user tried to authenticate from here to here, he didn't find anything in the logs. So why he didn't found? Let's check. So let's see option. Option A, the router is missing route between Cisco ISE and the router. That is not correct, because there is already SMB traffic and syslog traffic as mentioned in the question. Option B, that a CACS source interface command on the router reference is the wrong interface. That is mean when the engineer configure source interface, he didn't configure this interface. That's interesting. Option C, the shared secret on the router for Cisco ISE is incorrect. That is not correct because, as he mentioned, it already configured to open SSH session. Also, the option D is that for the same reason, no hosts have been defined under the AAA server. That means the user didn't configure router IP under AAA server, but that's incorrect. As the user mentioned, there is already SMB and syslog traffic. That is mean that there is already host to configure. Let's see answer in next page. The answer is B, because as mentioned explanation, the configured source interface is not correct. The source interface should be the interface in ISE direction. Let's go to the next question. The question is asking about the probe that can provide IP to MAC address translation between network device and the ISE in the RB cache. So watch two probes provide IP to MAC address binding information to the RB cache in Cisco ISE. He asking about two answer. The option here is HTTP or DHCP or NetFlow or DNS. Yes, if we did the packet capture, only we can see IP and the MAC address in two type of traffic, in DHCP and radius, and that's indication for the probe. The probe is piece of information that we extracted it from traffic, and we need here IP and the MAC address. We can extract the IP and the MAC address probe from DHCP and radius attribute. So the correct answer is P and E. For RB cache function, you must enable DHCP probe and radius probe. The DHCP and radius carry IP address and the MAC address of endpoint in the payload of the data. That's simple. Let's go for the next question. The next question here, we have a scenario that engineer has been asked to use Cisco ISE to restrict network access at Cisco switch port level using .1x authentication. If user fail to authenticate, he should be redirected via access list with redirection and have access redirect via this access list. So, how we can configure ISE to do this task? Let's see. Our scenario that we having this user would like to authenticate on ISE using 802.1x protocol that configured on this switch port, like in step number 1. If this authentication is failure, the user should go the next step for the web access list redirection. The web access list redirection will be occurred and configured via this switch, and the ISE will send this portal that's called web portal when you configure it to receive username and password. So let's see options that accomplish this task. Option A, authentication profile, or option B, authentication policy, or option C, authorization rule, or option D, authorization profile. Let's see. Answer is D. The explanation here to configure 802.1x authentication that make redirection to user via web access list, we should configure authentication profile and authorization profile. So till now, option A and option D is the correct answer. But we need only one accurate answer. The accurate answer is D, authorization profile. Why? Because authentication profile specify some parameter like authentication, EAP method, and timeout. On the other hand, the authorization profile, which specify access list or VLAN to be applied, and this answer is matching our question. Answer D is the correct answer here. We would like to thank you all for attending today's class at 591 Lab Hub. We hope you found the material and explanation is informative and helpful to you. Remember, you need to practice. The practice is critical mastering any new skill. So, if you cross content and keep practicing with us, will help you to support. If you have any question or concern, please don't hesitate to contact us. We will appreciate your participation and look forward to you again. Have a great day. Bye bye.